YouTube family, click the link and subscribe as we chat with our own Fabrizio Romano for the latest transfer news. Vamos! Bottom of the table, Manchester United have 99 problems and Cristiano Ronaldo is one. Lots to do for the Red Devils as transfer chatter continues, but not much action. Can Christian Pulisic be the answer? What about Casemiro? Apparently he's getting closer. Hey, speaking of the aforementioned American, his current club, Chelsea, still hoping for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but is Barcelona doing the right thing on letting him go? How about Wesley Fofana and Leicester City? We talk more Premier League, latest transfer rumors, and much more. It's a live episode. We want to get going, be aggressive today. Fabrizio Romano is here. Qué Golazo is here. You are here. We are live. Qué Golazo begins right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Qué Golazo, a live episode. We're going to get going straight away. So much to discuss. Fabrizio Romano, how are you, brother?
Hello, bro. All good, and you? Hope it's all fine. And many things happening on the market. So important week. It's 15 days before the end of the window, and so many things going on.
15 days left to go. Fabrizio and I were like, you know what? We're not even going to bother with the banter at the beginning. Let's get straight to business. Let's talk about Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano, it's the main headline of today's show. And by the way, everybody, there is no break today. So send in your questions, on our great producer, attacking third talent, Lisa Roman, will send me the questions, but we'll answer as many as we can, okay? So, Fab, let's get going with Manchester United straight away. It's not good, obviously. It's no secret what's going on with Erik ten Hag and his club, of course. But let's talk about it from a transfer perspective. First and foremost, Cristiano Ronaldo has been given the green light to leave. Is that correct? What's the latest?
On Cristiano Ronaldo's side, the situation is pretty clear. While Manchester United insist also today morning that they have no intention to let him go, that they trust Cristiano as part of the project, so Man United's position is always the same. Behind the scenes, Jorge Mendes is still working to find a last-minute solution for Cristiano Ronaldo. So the agent of the player is on it. Jorge Mendes is trying to find the right way. He already did his magic last summer when it was pretty clear it was really difficult to move Cristiano Ronaldo, and then at the end Man United appeared and signed Cristiano. He's going to try the same, so last minute opportunity for Cristiano Ronaldo to find a way together and to sell Cristiano Ronaldo as soon as possible. It's not an easy one, let me repeat, because we know how tough have been the negotiations with many clubs around Europe, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern. Mendes spoke to all these clubs. At the moment, it's still complicated, but I'm sure that the Ronaldo situation is still open and will be open till the end of the window.
So Ronaldo also said that he's going to, come out with some statement on Instagram, discussing some reports. Some say they are true, some say they are not. Are you expecting anything crazy there, or are you just expecting everything that we've been talking about, which is an exit is imminent if it can work out?
I think Cristiano is not so happy with the rumors on what has been said about the dressing room and his behavior, with the teammates, because I'm also told that Cristiano is being a very serious professional. So my sources are telling me that the problem is not how Cristiano is acting. Cristiano is not happy because the team is not at Man United level and because the results are not at Man United level. But when you're a winner, this is how you react to difficult situations. You can't be happy. If you are happy with that kind of situation, the problem is the club, is not the player. So Cristiano just wants to see the ambition of Manchester United, and this is why he's not happy. So I think he's not so happy, not just with the transfer rumors, but it's about things said about his professional approach, also to the trainings and everything that I'm told has always been perfect in that case.
His reputation, of course. We also all or nothing with Juventus and how he's very careful about he's also perceived and how he treats his work. All right, well, let's stay with Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano, we said there's a lot to discuss. Let's keep going here. Let's talk about the targets. Okay, I'm just going to give you the names and we just go one by one, okay, just to see exactly what's going on. Manchester United and Rabiot, what's the latest there?
Deal off. As of today, it's totally off. It will only change if Rabiot changes his mind and changes his request, because Manchester United have said no to the crazy salary request of the mother of the player, Véronique Rabiot. He wants 7 million euros guaranteed net per season. That is the same salary he has at Juventus, plus some bonuses, and also with a huge signing fee. And Man United are not accepting that kind of structure, that kind of salary. So at the moment, the Rabiot situation is completely off. Let's see if the player will change his mind, but as of now, seems to be really difficult.
The goalkeeper, Jan Sommer, what's going on there?
It's one of three names that they have in the list, so not the only one, because it's not an easy one, because Borussia Mönchengladbach offered him a new deal. Also, he's an important player for Switzerland at the World Cup, and so he wants to make sure that he has regular game time looking for the World Cup. And of course, at Man United, there is David De Gea, so it's different kind of situation. Borussia Mönchengladbach are offering him a new deal for next 3 years. Manchester United are keeping contacts with him, with his agents, to understand the situation, and so he could be one of the names. But for sure, Man United will sign a new goalkeeper because they have to replace Dean Henderson.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep going here. This is a big one. Casemiro, the Brazilian midfielder. I thought this was just like, there's no chance. But is there any chance at all that this could happen?
No, Manchester United are trying. Manchester United are really trying for Casemiro. They know it's a difficult one. It's a really difficult one because not just of Real Madrid, but I would mention, from what I'm told, Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti would love to keep the same squad he has right now till the end of the season. So Carlo Ancelotti doesn't want to change the team because he knows how important are all the players of Real Madrid, not just on the pitch, but also into the dressing room. Casemiro is a big leader, so would be a top signing for Manchester United. But as I mentioned, not an easy one. So when I see around 45, 50 million euros, I'm told that it's absolutely not enough to tempt Real Madrid. They want way more than this, and the player would only consider a crazy, crazy salary. I'm told that Manchester United are prepared to pay an important salary to Casemiro. They want to try to tempt the player and Real Madrid. So Man United are trying. This is a reality. Then it's a tough one. So depends on Ancelotti, I feel. I feel that Ancelotti will have a conversation with Casemiro, that they will decide together, because Ancelotti is an important factor of this story.
Yeah, because obviously at the beginning of this conversation, when Auriel Tchouameni entered the frame, Casemiro was reportedly not that happy, thinking that he might have lost his first team status. But Ancelotti said, no, don't worry about this. So I'm imagining that has a lot to do with it. And if Casemiro leaves, Fabrizio, there's no way that Real Madrid are going to be happy with that without looking for somebody else before the end of the transfer window.
I think that could be an opportunity. At the moment, they are not commenting, as they are still convinced that Casemiro has good chances to stay. So Real Madrid are still relaxed. But in case the deal will go through with Manchester United, I think they will look at the market. They could look at the market. Of course, as you mentioned, they already signed Tchouameni this summer. They had Camavinga as top signing at the end of last summer. So they have many top young players, and already many top players like Modric, Valverde, Kroos, and many others. So at the moment, from Real Madrid, it's Casemiro. But let's see what happens with Man United.
Okay, so basically it would take something monumental for this to happen, but it's not impossible.
Yes, this is the situation as of now.
All right, well, let's talk about something that really interests a lot of our followers, of course. Christian Pulisic, we mentioned, of course, that the Chelsea winger was, maybe going out on loan, perhaps on sale. Newcastle were keeping their eyes on it. And then, per reports, including The Athletic, Christian Pulisic might be an interest of Manchester United. How close are we to that being true?
Yes, it's true. It's true. The Athletic news is confirmed. It's true. Manchester United have been asking about the Christian Pulisic situation. He could be one of the options considered by Erik ten Hag. He's not the only one, because they have a list of players in that position. We know they're following, and I insist saying that they're following Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven. Is one of the players that they are tracking since a long time. Pulisic could be an interesting opportunity for Man United. They asked for a potential loan move. Todd Boehly is the point in this story, because I'm told that Todd Boehly is not so happy with loaning players out to important clubs and rival clubs like Manchester United. So we have to understand if he will say, okay, I accept the conditions and I let the player go on loan to Manchester United, or if he'll just accept different kind of formula. So this is an important part, because I'm told that Chelsea did the Lukaku deal with Inter, but after the Lukaku deal, they decided not to accept too many loan deals to important clubs around Europe for players that they trust, because Pulisic is not player that they don't trust. It's an important player for Chelsea. So it depends on Todd Boehly at the moment, but it's true that Manchester United are trying.
All righty. Well, let's stay here with Manchester United very quickly, of course. Here's a question regarding about Chelsea. So, okay, BA, we'll do a little detour for you. Wonder Kid, Endrick Palmeiras links to Chelsea. Is this true?
It's true that Chelsea are among clubs interested in this boy, but will be a crazy battle for Endrick. Crazy. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, but also other clubs like PSG are following him. So it's going to be a crazy one. I think will be the next Vinicius, Neymar. You remember how many crazy battles we had in the past when these talented boys in Brazil were shining, and so now I think will be the case with Endrick. I'm told that there are really many clubs in the race, having first contacts, and Chelsea are included in the list. So it's true that they want him, but it's still not something agreed or completed.
All right, we have a segment on Chelsea, everybody, I promise, but we're just going to finish and wrap up here with Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano, make sure to follow him on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and he's been keeping us up to date, of course. Aubameyang, obviously, that's another Chelsea story, which Fab will let us know in a second, but is there any link there between United and Aubameyang?
At the moment, still nothing concrete from what I'm told. And I'm sure that Aubameyang, as priority, wants to play Champions League football. He wants to play Champions League football. He's in a good position at Barcelona. So I think it would take a crazy proposal also in this case for Aubameyang. And Chelsea are focusing on him more than Man United as of now.
Yeah, and we will get to that in a second. But finally, with United, Moises Caicedo, interesting because, I remember you tweeting about him way back last year about Manchester United's interest, and then it went off, and then I wrote a massive piece about how important he is. Brighton came in, of course. Moises Caicedo now apparently, according to you, Fab, remains again an interest for the Red Devils.
Yes, he's one of the players that they have in the list. Then let's see if they will decide to go for him or not. Also, we know how tough it is to negotiate with Brighton after the Cucurella story. It's always complicated to find an agreement with Brighton. But as of now, there is still no official bid. But it's one of the players that Manchester United are discussing internally. I think it would be, as you mentioned, a really smart signing. Very good player, physical player. He's a beast with very good potential. But I'm not sure there's going to be an easy negotiation with Brighton. So let's see how it develops.
Absolutely. If we just saw what Brighton just did with getting Pervis Stupinian and then replacing him on a very good deal from Cucurella, there's no way that they're going to let this boy go.
Very good signing. Yeah? Very good signing.
Oh, tremendous.
I saw your tweet and I agree 100%.
It's an upgrade, my friend. That's what I think. That's how good I think I highly rate him. But anyway, all right, let's talk about Chelsea then. Obviously, we've mentioned them a little bit. Let's go back to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang because you also reported that Todd Boehly wants some new conversations. And I guess, to your point, Aubameyang wants Champions League football. Check on that with Chelsea. Aubameyang knows London. Check on that with Chelsea. But it seems to me that Xavi doesn't really want to let go of Aubameyang that easily. What's the latest?
Yes, it's kind of manager's battle in this case because Thomas Tuchel would love to have Aubameyang and he's pushing Todd Boehly to sign Aubameyang. He considers him the first option for the attacking position, the perfect player. He knows him, so he doesn't need a lot of time to integrate him with Chelsea ideas and system. That was the problem with Lukaku, you remember, last season. So he wants to make sure that the new striker will be ready immediately to have an impact with Chelsea. But at the same point, Xavi wants to keep Aubameyang. Xavi is pushing to keep the player or at least to get a really important transfer fee for him. So not something small or something normal. They want really important proposal for Aubameyang. Imagine that during the weekend in the contacts through intermediaries, I'm told that Barcelona were asking around 30 million euros for Pierre Aubameyang, a player that they signed almost on a free in January. So let's see what happens. Let's see what Chelsea will decide because they wanted to spend way less than this. Let's see what the player will decide because the new round of talks this week is not just with Barcelona, but is also with the player. Chelsea want to understand how much will he ask for the salary, the length of the contract. So there are some points to clarify on player side before jumping into it with Barcelona. But Xavi hopes for the player to stay, also because Memphis Depay has very good chances to join Juventus.
This also depends on Chelsea's fate here. Ricardo Cooper asking what I was thinking about, Ronaldo now. Ricardo, you're asking, any chance of that happening?
At the moment, I would say no because of Thomas Tuchel. So in July, when they had the opportunity, and Todd Boehly was tempted by this opportunity. So this is why I would keep the situation open because the owner, the president, has always been tempted by the opportunity of signing Cristiano Ronaldo, a top player, legendary player. But Thomas Tuchel said no in July. It was very clear. He didn't want Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea. So never say never in football. If Tuchel tomorrow morning wakes up and says, okay, let's sign Cristiano, for Todd Boehly, it's a yes. But for Tuchel, at the moment, it's still a no. So at the moment, nothing going on. We will see.
This is the one that I was thinking about. Armando Broja, of course, had a fantastic season with Southampton. Obviously, he's a Chelsea player. There's a lot depend on how Tuchel wants to. Does he want to keep Broja this summer, says Spindley?
Yes, he wants to keep him, but Broja wants to play. Armando wants to play. He wants to have regular game time. And so I think if Chelsea will sign one more important striker, they could maybe consider a last-minute deal for Armando, also because there were strong interest from many clubs in Italy, in England with West Ham, and Chelsea always said no, they wanted to keep the player. So I know that they want to keep him. And so Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of Armando, but at the same point, it depends on the new signing.
Yeah, new signings. Okay, we're going to wrap up Chelsea, but we do have two questions. One of them is Yeremy Pino. Obviously, this continues to be an interest, but I believe it's more smoke than anything else. I can't see this happening. How do you see it with Yeremy Pino to Chelsea?
They're following him, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, since long time. But at the moment, there is not negotiation.
I mean,
so
it's no secret. He's a great, very talented player.
Yes,
Lots of teams
it's
are looking at
absolutely
him.
normal
Yeah.
to follow this kind of players, but it's not a negotiation as of today.
All right, and the last one, Wesley Fofana. I feel, Didier Drogba is his hero. He really wants this move, I'm hearing. And per your reports, personal agreements, personal situations have been settled. It's all about Leicester accepting now.
Yes, everything is okay between Fofana and Chelsea. He wants the move. He's desperate for the move. He would love to join Chelsea. He knows that Thomas Tuchel is pushing to have him. He is highly rated by Chelsea. And so we wait for the new bid because Chelsea are intention to submit a new proposal to Leicester, to tempt Leicester. Is another difficult one because Leicester want to keep the player. So not an easy summer for Chelsea in the negotiations because many clubs know how powerful they are in the market, how good is the financial situation. And so after the Cucurella deal, I think it's going to be even more complicated to sign Fofana. But Chelsea are there. Chelsea will try till the end. Chelsea are not giving up, and the player wants Chelsea. He has an agreement on a 6-year deal with Chelsea, and so he's just waiting for them to bid again and try again. So let's see when, but they are on it.
All right, so that one could be closer. All right, Arsenal are number 2 in my power rankings in the Premier League. Fabrizio Romano, they have started very well this season under Mikel Arteta. So there's a lot of Arsenal questions from a lot of our Arsenal fans. Rob Kelly asks about Pedro Neto, by the way, the Wolves player. Any chance of that? And maybe a midfielder to Arsenal?
The moment is still quiet for Pedro Neto. Let's see if in the next days something will change. But as of today, it's still quiet. The midfielder has always been Tielemans, top of the list for Arsenal, but still no official bid to Leicester. I'm told that Arsenal are still focused on all the outgoings. We know how complicated it is to manage the outgoings for the top club. It's not easy. So I think Edu and Arteta are doing a very good job because many players left and other players will have to leave in the next days, like Maitland-Niles and others. So they're trying to find solutions on the outgoings, and then I think that they will sign at least one more player.
All right, so let's wrap up with Arsenal. Is there any more involvement, any business going on? Rob Kelly asks again, Fab, how much players are Arsenal looking to sign? 1 or 2, any at all? You mentioned there's 15 days left. Gabriel Jesus leads that line. Martinelli looks like he's going to do well. Where else are they looking to focus, Fab, before they wrap up the summer?
The roles they've been covering and following has always been midfielder and winger, but it depends because Arsenal, I think, have very good strategy. For example, if you asked me the same question in January, I told you striker, they will sign a new striker. Then at the end, they wanted Vlahovic, but they've been very smart in deciding, okay, we are not wasting money in a player we don't trust because we can't sign Vlahovic.
They've been flexible.
Yes, yeah. We wait and we sign Gabriel Jesus in the summer. Top signing. So I think it will be the same. They wanted Rafinha, but they will sign a winger only in case they will be 100% convinced of the winger. Otherwise, they will go for it maybe in January or next summer.
All right, well, we're nearly done here with Fabrizio Romano. It's only a short one, and we've been doing a pretty good job here at answering all your questions. I wanted to just quickly touch on Newcastle, because even though they are, a very rich team, they've been pretty, conservative when it comes to their signings. Is there any attention with Newcastle? We mentioned Pulisic before. Perhaps they need another attacker. What's going on with Newcastle United? Any hope of even Gallagher as well? Conor Gallagher from Chelsea they're talking about. What's going on with Newcastle?
For sure, Conor Gallagher is part of the list. He's a player they love, but it depends on Thomas Tuchel. It depends on Chelsea. So they will need to wait a bit on Gallagher and see what Tuchel will decide. The same with Broja. So they need to wait, and that's it for the Chelsea talents. I will keep an eye on João Pedro, Watford striker, because they submitted a proposal a few days ago, £20 million plus 3 in add-ons. Watford said no, but they will be back. Newcastle will be back with a new proposal. They want João Pedro, so let's see what Watford will decide, because they're also negotiating with Crystal Palace for Ismail Assar. And so they will have to decide. Pozzo will have to decide if he wants to sell both players or just one. So it's time to make decisions at Watford, but João Pedro is one of the names, the most important names in the list at Newcastle.
All right, everybody, you cannot complain. It was only 20 minutes, but Fabrizio Romano gave us a lot of content. Before we say goodbye, Fab, we always ask you anything that we should be paying close attention to, anything in these last 15 days of the transfer window.
Many things, but I would keep an eye in the next hours to the new wonder boy for Chelsea, because they signed Cesare Casadei from Inter. In this moment, I just received a message. He's going to the airport to fly to London in the next 2-3 hours, so he will be in London tonight. This boy is born in 2003 from Inter Academy, top talent. They spent 15 million euros plus 5 in add-ons. Tomorrow morning, medical test. And imagine that Chelsea invested $15 million in Gaga Slonina, 15 million euros in Cesare Casadei. They signed Omari Hutchinson from Arsenal. They invested important money on many talents like Carme, your boy. And so there is this talents project from Todd Boehly, and I think it's a really interesting one.
Born in 2003. I feel so old, Fabrizio Romano.
Me too, in this case.
Absolutely ridiculous. Fabrizio Romano, always a pleasure. Make sure to follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. CBS Sports every single week, part of our Serie A coverage as well. Fab, have a fantastic day. I hope that these 15 days don't kill you. Keep up with the good work, and we'll see you next time on Qué Golazo, Fab. Thanks so much, brother.
Thank you, bro. See you soon. Thank you to all the guys for sending the questions, and see you soon here on Qué Golazo. Ciao.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Plenty more to come from Qué Golazo, including our weekend previews and so much more. Have a great rest of your day. See you next time. Bye-bye.